Good afternoon and welcome to the CEM Summit 2017. It's the afternoon session here today. I've got Arihant Jain. Welcome from Freshworks. You are the head of business of Middle East and Africa for Freshdesk. Welcome to the Customer Experience Management Summit 2017. What has your experience been thus far?
It's been very interesting. This is the first year that we as a company, Freshworks, have participated, and it's been actually quite interesting. I think for me, what's been most exciting is to see so many people so passionate about customer experience. The whole idea of CXPs, how people were so excited about the awards. It almost felt like like an Oscars where there was so much build up, people like fighting with each other, winning awards. It seems like also a matter of pride for a lot of people. People definitely take the idea of customer experience very seriously. And from our perspective, it was really amazing because it's a very, very targeted audience. These are exactly the kind of people that Freshworks targets as their customers. So it's great to get our brand out there. It's great to meet people in the right space who are the decision makers, who will be the end people probably using our software. So very excited to be here. Cape Town has been rainy and sunny, so I can't say I've been equally excited, but hopefully the weekend looks sunnier ahead.
And we sure hope that you stay, understanding that it is your first time here. We'd really love to keep you here for the weekend if you're very, very keen. Yeah. Ariant, please tell us about Freshworks. What do Freshworks do? What do they stand for? And what value do Freshworks bring to this entire industry?
So Freshworks very simply provides refreshingly easy to use software for support. We target all sizes of businesses, all types of businesses. We provide software that allows one to manage multi-channel contact centers. That's our primary product called Freshdesk, which is towards the external customer, and they can communicate via different channels, and we give them a single platform to be able to give your support team the right context, the right knowledge, to be able to solve your customer support problems much more easily. Our other main product is called Fresh Service, which is the same solution but for internally. So imagine you're running a large company and you have an IT support team, you have legal, you have HR. Sometimes it's impossible to get things done from them. So our software Fresh Service allows people to sort of internalize your own employees as customers and give them the same service that you would do for external employees.
That's exciting because there's been a lot of discussion at the summit this year around organisations still working independently in their individual silos. So, if I understand you correctly, your Freshdesk product brings that together. Is that correct?
In fact, I conducted a workshop yesterday on exactly the same topic. What we find globally that all organizations are very siloed today. And our notion is that customer support is not just the support team's business, right. It's everybody's business. So the whole organization needs to come together, and that's been one of the themes in this summit, is that customer centricity has been lost. People treat customer support as a cost department separately, and what we believe is that collaboration and automation are two of the things that will help in terms of breaking down these silos. So in that example, what Freshdesk does is it allows for multiple teams and individuals within the same organization to work together to solve a customer's problem. We call this the pit stop model, sort of based on the Formula One cars. If you can visualize this, imagine that a Formula One car stops at the pit stop, and within a matter of 2 or 3 seconds, this team of a dozen people will change 4 tires, refuel the fuel tank, clean the grill, check everything that's broken. To us, that is the epitome of how different people can work together effectively in such a short span of time for such a complex problem and solve it so beautifully. That is sort of the example that we give on how customer support needs to have that level of synchronicity to be able to come together. What we believe, a customer of mine recently told me his objective in his support team is to simply let the customer go back to whatever she was doing. None of us like to contact a customer support center, right? We'd rather get on with our day. We'd rather go get our cup of coffee. So our objective should be that let's solve them with accuracy and speed.
Ariane, so if I'm understanding it correctly, the pit stop model that you have rightly described to us right now is going to allow us to be more comfortable in terms of addressing customers' needs moving forward so that we can drink more coffee.
Exactly. I think in today's day and age, we need to make our organizations different by providing a fantastic customer experience. I think many companies, many types of industries are becoming so commoditized that the customer experience and customer support is finally what sets us aside. There are a lot of people that I met in South Africa who talk about different organizations. You were there in the awards. A lot of companies are lauded for the kind of support they give. And I think that needs to become the mainstay of how an organization differs from one another.
And that leads into my next question, which is effectively if we use the premise of your pit stop approach to understanding how customer engagement should be, because those three, well, a lot of the times it's sub 3 seconds where an entire team comes together to, like you said, execute a very complex task. How do you see technologies like artificial intelligence and virtual reality, and how will those take over from creating experiences that are unique to individuals in terms of driving engagement with customers?
So this is actually a topic that's very close to me. Um, I joined Freshworks earlier this year. Before that, I was running my own startup that was building our AI-powered chatbots. So we were automating chat using artificial intelligence and machine learning. And my startup got acquired by Freshworks, which is why I'm here.
Amazing! Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
Congratulations!
So what we did for over a year and a half when we were building our startup was exactly this in terms of how can you use artificial intelligence to automate a lot of these things. What automation does is it allows for scalability. Organizations can't afford to have 1,000 people working in contact centers. It allows for accuracy. A machine will often be able to do things more accurately than human beings. And thirdly, it allows for a better customer experience. None of us like waiting on hold. We don't like IVR systems. The millennials today are much more comfortable on chat rather than on phone or on anything else. Can you use technologies like this to offer a far superior customer experience? And I'm very much for it. I think a negative sort of thought that has come into a lot of people's minds is that will artificial intelligence lead to unemployment? People are very afraid that am I going to lose my job? I think that's the wrong way to think about it. You could give the same argument for, let's say, any kind of modern day factory or assembly line. Has that really led to that level of unemployment? I think what's going to happen is that we will get upskilled, and in this context, a contact center person, a human being, should be focusing on complex problems that a machine cannot solve. An end customer, let's say I'm contacting an e-commerce website and I simply want to know where my order is. I don't want to be put on hold and talk to a human being. I'm happy to talk to a bot. I'm happy to get automated answers. But if there is a complex transaction, sure, that's where I want to talk to a human being. AI is in its infancy, but you're going to see a lot more of it in the coming years. I can guarantee you that.
We really look forward to you joining us again next year in terms of, bringing updates. And like you mentioned, the AI space in the customer experience journey is still in its infancy. We would really love to see you again next year in terms of giving us an update on how things are evolving. AI is playing a substantial role, like you said, in the industry. It would be good to catch up with you again. I'm going to hand you the mic to give us a closing view on what do you think the event has provided Freshworks.
I think it's given me a great insight into where customer experience is in South Africa today. It's great to see so many companies taking it seriously. It's interesting to see that South Africa is as evolved as some of the other markets that we see in the United States or in Europe. I've been very impressed with the adoption of technology, people using voice analytics, artificial intelligence. It's very much up there. And I look forward to coming next year and seeing how this conversation evolves and how the technology changes, how people's focuses changes. I hope a lot of what has been talked about in this conference is applied, and we're talking about newer problems and newer issues next year. Thank you so much for having me.
Arihant Jain, the head of business for Middle East and Africa. He runs that for Freshworks. Thank you again for your time, and we really look forward to seeing you next year.